country, Ghana, His Excellency Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. This additional holiday that the president has done is to promote inclusivity and historical recognition by expanding national recognition of religious and historical observance. This move is geared towards fostering inclusive society within our country. And in the Public Holiday Act also, we shift all holidays that fall within the midweek to the closest either Friday or Monday, creating what we call the bank of holidays. And this is essentially to help the tourism industry and the creative art industry. A number of curfews that we inherited when we came in January, we had about 11 curfews across our country, and we all know what it means to have a curfew in a community, meaning that those communities are not very stable. There's some difficulty and challenges. I'm happy to say that today we have 5 more, and the 5 are Wale, Binduri, Boko, Sampa, and then Nkwanta. This reflects improved security and dialogue and has restored normalcy in previously affected communities. The lifting of curfews in the affected communities has expanded civil liberty and allowed residents to resume daily activities without restriction. Government is still working hand in hand with all stakeholders to ensure that normalcy and peace are restored in the affected areas still under curfew. As you may be aware, the Ministry of Interior offers a number of services to the general public, not only Ghanaians but also foreigners, both inside our country and outside our country. These services include, among many, immigration quota permit, renunciation of Ghanaian citizenship, dual citizenship, right of abode, license of private security organization, permission to import or export explosive, permit to import or export arms and ammunition, permits for key cutting, among others. It is important to note that all these services offered by the ministry are done manually. I am happy to report that the ministry has commenced the digitalization of 16 core ministry functions, including permits and license services. The process mapping has been completed. This intervention, when rolled out latest by the end of this year, is expected to streamline workflow, reduce delay, and enhance public access to services, improve transparency and accountability. In collaboration with the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection and the Ghana Immigration Service, we were able to remove over 2,241 street beggars that have been cleared off our streets and repatriated to their countries. This exercise has restored public order in urban centers while supporting vulnerable population with humane intervention. We are mapping our strategy that will make sure that we eliminate all these challenges on all our streets, not only in Accra but across the cities in our country. Furthermore, we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Youth Development for security agencies internship, enhancing youth employability while supporting security agencies operations. Interns will be deployed across the police, the prisons, and the fire services. The first batch of these interns will commence training on the 16th of this month. That's just Thursday, from this week Thursday. Similarly, the ministry is in talks with Ministry of Education to sign an MOU, that's Memorandum of Understanding, to enable the prison services to produce 20% of sanitary pad for the free sanitary initiative, to produce 30% of all school furnitures and 30% of all school uniforms that government is giving out. And this we are doing to make sure that our reformative programs within our prisons is changed completely from what we are currently simply doing. I call it warehousing the prisoners, keeping them idle, not too much to do. When it comes to the Ghana Police Service, they've made a notable achievement, including sustained anti-illegal mining operations, halting illegal mining in our forest reserve, stopping illegal mining activities along water banks, ensuring that foreigners are not allowed to operate in small-scale mining within our forests, and then prosecuting persons involved. The services has established a 24-hour economy secretariat at the police headquarters in Accra to provide round-the-clock security for businesses under the government flagship program of 24-hour economy program. This is to ensure that the safe movement. This is to ensure the safe movement of goods and people and foster economic growth without fear of attack. The Ghana Police Care Services, not only to the police personnel, but to the communities around this facility. In the next 6 months, we will start work on independent police complaint commission, or this within the confines of the law, so that they don't abuse our citizens in trying to protect them. Law, so that they don't abuse our citizens in trying to protect them. Ghana Prison Service has secondary education initiative supporting education continuity for juveniles and inmates. The Damongu Correctional Facility has been completed, expanding correctional facilities and reducing overcrowding. I want to take this opportunity once again to thank the Pentecost Church for the great job that they are doing in supporting the Ghana Prison Service. I came to meet a situation where they were at various stages of completion, 5 camp prisons, and this Damongu one that has just been completed makes it the 5th one. And if a church could come to the aid of the Ghana Prison Service this much, I want to take this opportunity to encourage all of us, citizens, individuals, business, corporate organization, to come to the aid of their security services, especially the prisons who have huge challenges in managing the about 14,000 inmates that we have, including foreigners that are in there. As you may be aware, the feeding allocation for inmates is pegged at 1 Ghana cedi, 80 pesos, less than 2 cedis, which is woefully inadequate. Some of the things that we are doing to improve the feeding of our inmates is to try to venture deeply into agriculture. And I can report that we have just secured some funding to do 5,000 layer poultry project, and we have also cultivated about 1,654 acres of crops. This initiative is ably supported by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture through the supply of equipment and inputs. The service has also commenced drafting a 24-hour economy proposal aligning prison operations with national productivity goals. The service has also launched a digital literacy program under the 1 million coders and equipping inmates, officers, and dependents with digital skills. There is an ongoing collaboration with the Youth Employment Agency, just as I mentioned earlier, for prison support staff recruitment to augment human resources need of the service for non-custodial duties. The Ghana Fire Service also woefully under-resourced, but has managed an undesired fire, reducing fire outbreaks and salvaging millions of cedis worth of property. The Ghana National Fire Service responded over this period to over 3,841 fire outbreaks nationwide, salvaging properties and saving many lives, whilst significantly reducing fire-related losses. The service has also conducted 14,234 fire safety inspections, ensuring premises adhere to safety standards. The service has also issued 12,418 fire certificates, including 2,944 renewals, whilst enforcing compliance with fire safety regulations. The service has also trained 5,214 fire volunteers to help reduce bushfire outbreaks in rural areas and supporting food security and environmental protection. The Ghana National Fire Service has also responded swiftly to 851 road traffic collision, rescuing trapped victims and saved numerous lives. In support of the 24-hour economy program, the Ghana National Fire Service instituted the following: 24-hour shift surveillance over all our major markets, and have also mapped out all filling stations nationwide that have flooded, that have the tendency of getting flooded during rainfalls. These measures are to enhance security, prevent fire, minimize the effect of flooding and fire incidents. Health and Safety Fund to meet the health needs of personnel with initial funds of about 200,000 was established during this period between January and this June. So I take this opportunity to appeal to all wishers to support this fund as a boost to the gallant firefighters. The service has also put in place National Safety Award Day every 11th July of the year to award individuals and corporate organizations that meet the high standard of safety protocols. This year, 60 individuals and corporate organizations were awarded. Service has also secured an insurance package for the personnel of the service who will suffer critical injuries and death in line of duties. And this, let me commend the State Insurance Corporation company, SIC, that have collaborated with us, with Ghana Fire Service, to do this. And the package they gave us was simple, with 40 cedis insurance cover for a year. They are able to cover our personnel from fire service that when they get injured on the line of duty, they get 50,000 Ghana cedis. If the injury is permanent, they get 100,000. If the unfortunate death, the family also get 100,000. It may be modest, but it's a very good beginning as compared to what we inherited, where when a fire officer goes to work and then inhale bad smoke and fall sick or fall from a height, the person will have to treat himself or herself, then submit the bill to the Minister for Interior to process to the Minister of Finance for payment. That sometimes can be very, very frustrating, and I'm very grateful to SIC for what they've been able to do with us, and I hope that they will extend the same to the other services like the police, the prisons, immigration, the others who are constantly risking their life to save, to make sure that all of us feel safe. Ghana Immigration Service, ladies and gentlemen, in line with the 24-hour economy policy, has developed a 24-hour economic policy paper at the Ghana Immigration Service headquarters. As of June 2025, the service has also prosecuted 13 suspects in Accra for human trafficking, illegal entry, and document forgery, whilst deterring breaches and enhancing national security. The service has analyzed 263 document fraud cases, identifying 111 as fraudulent, preventing identity theft and related crime. The Ghana Immigration Service rescued 21 human trafficking victims, intercepted 291 irregular immigrants, and arrested 223 individuals for immigration breaches. Additionally, they have intercepted smuggled goods, including 406 bags of cocoa beans, 1,115 jerry cans, 11 bags of fertilizers, 50 gallons of fuel, with one vehicle impounded. The service has also increased interagency collaboration, which has facilitated coordination among agencies for prevention of crime and public safety. The service has removed a total of 1,617 foreigners for various breaches under the Section 20 and 21 of Immigration Act 573. The Narcotics Control Commission has intensified efforts to combat drug trafficking and promote public health. In that regard, the Commission has undertaken the following as of June 2025. Secured 15 district offices across 7 regions, decentralizing operation and improving local enforcement. Seized 1,192 kilograms of cocaine over the period, 90 kilograms of cannabis, and about 17.9 kilograms of gold at Temaport, Kotoka International Airport, Paga Border, and Oyarufa, disrupting major trafficking operations. The Narcotics Control Commission has also conducted 7 drug swoops in Akosombo, Takoradi, Medina, and other areas, reducing street-level drug availability. The NARCOC has also operationalized a toll-free line, increasing citizen tip-off and participation. The Commission has also acquired a 100-acre parcel of land at Abuasa, Eastern Region, for a future NARCOC training academy with documentation near completion. The National Disaster Management Organization, over the period, has enhanced disaster preparedness and response, protecting lives and livelihood. NADMO has responded to 332 emergencies and conducted 2,268 field assessments. They have verified incidents and mapping risk zones for timely intervention in flood, fire, and collapses. NADMO has also engaged 2,174 communities to develop participatory disaster risk reduction plan, enhancing local ownership and early warning system. Additionally, NADMO has desilted 248 drainage channels across various communities, improving water flow in urban areas and reducing flooding during the rainy season. They have also provided relief to over 11,524 disaster victims, distributing food, shelter, and sanitation supplies to meet humanitarian needs promptly. The areas where victims were supported includes a whole bunch of communities ranging from Western region to Northern region to the Volta region to Bono East, Asante, and the like. The National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons has renovated its head office building, providing a better space for staff to function effectively. They have established Student Against Firearm Trafficking Club in Elubo, supporting the fight against armed trafficking in border communities. Over the years, staff of the Commission have been working without a scheme of service. Thankfully, this has been finalized to streamline human resource management. The Commission has hosted the United Nations Organization Drug and Crime Planning meeting in Accra and is working towards a joint cross-border strategy against armed trafficking. The National Peace Council has relocated its head office to Roman Ridge from where they were. They were the only island. They were the only person living in the island that gives them so much scare, and when it rains the place gets flooded. Thankfully, in the last 6 months they've been relocated to Roman Ridge, to a more befitting space where it will help them to improve whatever they are doing there. The council has inaugurated the Savannah and Harford Regional Peace Council, which have expanded regional peace architecture and mediation capacity. They have also established local and community peace committees in conflict-prone areas, particularly across the five regions of the North, despite funding challenges. Additionally, the Council has also worked tirelessly to resolve 429 conflict cases, including 168 chieftaincy disputes, 105 land-related conflict, and 57 ethnic disputes. The Ghana Refugee Board has registered 1,522 new refugees and asylum seekers, primarily from our neighboring country, Burkina Faso, and maintains an accurate database to strengthen security and humanitarian planning whilst maintaining an updated and accurate database. the Ghana Refugee Board has successfully integrated 500 Ivorian refugees and given them indefinite resident permits in collaboration with the United Nations Commission for Human Rights and the Ghana Immigration Service, whilst promoting durable solution and legal inclusion. The board has launched the Upper West registration campaign, processing an estimated 7,000 Burkinabes who have moved to Ghana for protection and documentation. The Gaming Commission of Ghana has conducted compliance monitoring investigations whilst enforcing operational standard and regulatory compliance. The Commission has expanded their regional presence by securing 4 regional offices in Ho, Aguna Suedo, Sehuri and Asante Bekwai, deepening regulatory oversight and bringing service closer to gaming operators and stakeholders. The Commission also conducted 67 routine monitoring exercises, review CCTV footage, and verify 8 inventories. In that regard, 2 illegal casinos have been clamped down in Osu and Tema. They have been imposed with administrative penalties to ensure compliance and protect players. Furthermore, the Commission has engaged the Ghana Revenue Authority, and operators to roll out the Gaming Administrative Monitoring System (GAMS), laying the foundation for real-time revenue monitoring as well as improving transparency and regulatory oversight. Additionally, the Commission has initiated plan for a rehabilitation center in the Asante region to support the program of gamers. National Identification Authority has registered over 18 million Ghanaians, including 190,775 in 2025 alone, and 210,498 foreigners, including 10,290 in 2025, issuing 17,534,360 Ghanaian cards. This has enabled integration with key systems like the Ghana Revenue Authority, the National Health Insurance Scheme, and the SNIT, improving financial inclusion and security. The National Identification Authority has installed security systems, enhancing physical and cyber security infrastructure, and added premium centers to their operation across the country. The National Identification Authority has also cleared 600,000 registration backlog across 292 operational offices, whilst addressing public complaints, boosting trust, and enabling access to enable services like banking. This is very, very important because we came to meet a backlog of people that have registered but they didn't have card, and I can report that within the last 6 months we made sure we had a blank card of over 600,000 to make sure that all these backlog are cleared. And I'm happy to say that if you go to the National Identification Authority headquarters today, you marvel, is it the place that people used to come and queue for hours and take man hours of their work simply because they want to just have their card or renew their card? Because we've introduced a system where we prompt you, we send you a message, and we give you the time to be there. So you come just at the time that you are expected. So you no longer have that long queues that you used to see at the National Identification Authority. And I think this is very commendable to our executive CEO, who is doing so well there. The authority has also piloted an online application and appointment system. That's what I was talking about. And now one of the things that we are trying to do is to have a premium centers across the country where we are partnering private individuals who open, and then that service can be there 24 hours so that you don't need to leave your workplace to go trying to change your card or replace a card or try to reprint a lost card or try to even register and get your card. We are in the process of doing all that. So we call it the Prestige Registration Services, which we are doing with so many others, including SNIT, the Ghana Commercial Bank, and 4 private companies in Greater Accra and Asante region, which offer exclusive home office enrollment and extended hours. So you could even call for them to come to your house to do those things for you, but obviously you have to pay a premium for that. Honorable Minister, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the sector has seen a great deal of change since we assumed office. and accordingly has made some significant gains generally. It is worth noting that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama is committed to retooling the security services with a 1 billion package that we are very optimistic that we'll begin to see the fruits this year by the grace of God, aiming to enhance operational effectiveness, logistical capacity, and mandate fulfillment of the security agencies, thereby strengthening national security and supporting their critical role. The ministry is keen to seize every opportunity presented to it towards executing its mandate, plans, programs, and ensuring peace and security for the good people of Ghana. I therefore want to appeal to all Ghanaians to continue to cherish this identity and not to do anything to detract from this path we have taken for ourselves and posterity. I want to remind myself and all Ghanaians the provision of the Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019, Act 999, that all of us needs to be mindful about the activities of vigilantism. And I can assure you that not my party, not any group will we sit and allow to see the resurgence of vigilantism. I have spoken to the IGP family on all the happenings of Ablekomanov. The videos have been forwarded to him. We've instructed him to act swiftly, bring the perpetrators to book. We are not going to condone whether people within our party or outside our party into going around doing anything untoward. We can assure the public that we will ensure, under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, no such group will be allowed to form. Ladies and gentlemen, peace and security are paramount in the development of any nation. It is therefore our collective responsibility as Ghanaians to actively contribute our quota in ensuring that we live peacefully with each other, regardless of gender, religion, ethnic origin, or economic or social status. On this note, Honorable Minister, I wish to thank you for this opportunity to assure the people of this country that as a ministry we shall remain committed to this cause. Once again, I wish to extend my sincere appreciation to you for hosting us and providing us a platform for the ministry to share its programs and achievement with the people of our country. We thank you so much. May God continue to bless our country and continue to bless our government. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that comprehensive brief. I believe you've touched on all the important matters that fall under your purview. One thing that I took particular note of was the reforms that you are introducing in the country's prisons regarding their ability to participate in some of the interventions that His Excellency President Mahama has introduced. Of importance to me is the 20% allocation that you are seeking for them in the manufacturing of sanitary pads, even as government rolls out the free sanitary pad initiative. You also mentioned that up to 30% of school desks and school uniforms will be produced in the prisons. This would significantly enhance the various interventions that are ongoing, and also ensure that our inmates, even as they go through reformation, contribute their quota towards national development. And it will also bring down the cost of producing these items, which will then impact on government's budget overall. Thank you very much for that briefing. Now the stage is set for questions to be taken from members of the media present. In the interest of time, I would ask that if you have any question, you line up to my left, and when the opportunity is given you, you quickly introduce yourself and go straight to the question. Because of time constraints, you will be limited to only one question, except you are going to announce an earthquake. So please identify yourself, ask your question, and then allow your colleague to take his or her turn. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Minister. Minister, you made mention about the fact that the government will not countenance. Sorry, my name is Abdul Hanan Adam. I work with the EIB network. Minister, you made mention about the fact that the government will not countenance any act of electoral violence. as enshrined under the Vigilantism Act. But I wish to ask that the police officer who assaulted my colleague at the Ablekuma by-election has been interdicted. After the interdiction, what's next? And secondly, how far...
I said one question, but I would allow you.
Yes. So secondly, how far with the President's directive that the IGP should submit a report concerning election-related violence between 2020 and 2024? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Komla, your turn.
Komla Kluche, I work at TV3. So my question ties a little bit into what the previous one says, but Ghana, like it did indicate, we witnessed, for want of a better word, if not the worst, one of the most embarrassing spectacles of electoral violence just less than about 72 hours ago. Somewhere in January, the president was very clear in his marching orders to the IGP, then Dr. Dampari, and now Mr. Christian Teteyehomu, on what exactly he expects of them regarding a report from 2020 to 2024 on the violence that has been recorded. Now, we have not seen anything close to a report for the past 7 months till now. That's most unacceptable. Now, here is the situation where we have thugs who have stormed the polling station. They have been captured in a video and also in still headbutting a female for that matter. Now, it's unacceptable that after 72 hours, we do not have any arrest of the sort of those individuals. That can also not form part of a resetting agenda. We need to depart from it. Now, the question is, many of the critics of this administration have clearly indicated that there's absolutely no difference between you and the then administration. When do we get to see some form of arrest, irrespective of what he's indicated that they will not countenance? And again, what's the state of the small arms bill?
Okay, but keep the questions short and concise so we may leave it. Please step forward and ask your question.
My last question, my question is his last question.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
I am Makosi Auchi. I work with City FM Channel and TV. My first question is, following what happened at Ablekuma, we have Akwetia by-election coming up. What is the assurance that what happened at Ablekuma is not going to repeat? And secondly, one of the directives given by President John Mahama, in fact, in his early days, was after the Cantonmental fire incident. He asked that the Ghana Police Service increases patrol in our market spaces. I want to find out what has been the update with that. Has there been any patrol? Has there been any surveillance at our market squares to ensure what happened is not repeated?
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, Max. So we'll take 5 questions in this segment and then come back when the minister has answered them.
Okay, good morning. My name is Maxwell Ababa. I work with Joy FM and Enjoy News. We've seen reports making the round on social media suggesting the resurgence of the Boko conflict. I've seen a statement from the Boko Central Member of Parliament talking about the destruction of a statue, also about some military brutalities, also about the shooting of a bus under a military escort. Over the weekend, and I think sometime yesterday, I also saw a statement from the Defense Minister urging residents to exercise restraint. I've not seen any statement from the Ghana Police Service giving us details on what is happening. I want to find out from the Minister, do we have a resurgence of the Boko conflict? Do we have reported loss of lives? What is the latest update? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. The Minister would answer these questions, after which another round of questions will be taken here.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you very much for your questions. Yes, I must say that, like you rightly mentioned, that the police officer that did the assault, you saw swift action. What is next? Obviously, the police administration has rules when an officer, for lack of better word, misbehaves, the first thing is interdiction, then the person is given an opportunity to defend himself or herself before what they call the police standard bureau, where the professional standard bureau, sorry, where the person appears. So that will be the next thing. Obviously the officer will appear before the police, what do you call the professional standard bureau, where the person will be given an opportunity to be heard. And definitely the videos and all of that will play. Someone will say, and then that drifts into the second part. Why up to about 72 hours we've not seen any swift action with regards to the other, what do you call it, unfortunate incident? Let me say that we condemn this in no uncertain terms. I mean, that's, for me, it's a scar on all of us conscience that as people having practiced democracy for over 3 decades, we cannot simply just go and have election and it will be violent free. That is something that all of us, in my view, especially those of us in politics, should be very concerned and very worried about. But there's a difference. The huge difference is that, check and see, almost all of us at the top have condemned this. In the past, you will not get that. The vice president has done that. I mean, the president is out of the country, so currently the vice president is leading us, and she condemned it in no uncertain terms. She instructed. I mean, she called me and told Madam, I've already instructed the IGP, and the IGP is sitting here. He will show you. If you could even come to my phone, you'll see that same day I forwarded all the videos that I had, and I asked IG, what are you doing about it? I said, look, we have to review the cameras. We have to look at it from all the angles. He has sent the, what do you call it, the crime scene guys there. The ICT guys are all working to make sure that we get it. But remember, that officer is somebody that we know, because he has a number, he has a name, we know where he is, we know where we station him, we can easily go after him. But these are guys who commit this sin and they vanish from the system, but we have to, it take time to track them. But assurance is that we are not going to allow this to go unpunished. Unless they flee the country. So long as they are around, they should be rest assured. They will have to, the law will have to take its course, because we cannot allow this to happen in our country. And you can be rest assured that, and I trust in the professionalism of the IGP and his team, that they are going to do a good job. So be rest assured that that will be done. The other question you asked was City FM Akwatia by-election. Yes. I know the challenge, people will say, coming event cast its shadow. If we can go to only 19 police stations, this will happen. What will happen when we go to some of the rural places? Well, the interesting thing is that I'm sure this is also a wake-up call for our security agencies to know that if maybe probably what happened could, maybe you could say that it was not an organized thing, it was a spontaneous thing. Whether it was organized, whether it was spontaneous, this gives our security agencies the opportunity to even plan better towards Akwatia. All I can assure the people of Akwatia is that we will use Ablekumanov as a case study to review our operational, how we operate in Akwatia, to make sure that the citizens are free to cast their vote and express their will without fear or favor. And for all the groups, whether you are in the NDC, whether you are in the MPP, whether you are independent, let me remind you of the Vigilante Act, what it says. And Minister, with your permission, I'll just read. And it says, that section 6 of the Act says, a political party shall not directly or indirectly form, organize, operate, or engage, or facilitate the formation, organization, operation, or activity of a vigilante group, whether belonging to that political party or any other political party. A political party that contravenes Section 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of not less than 10,000 penalty units and not more than 25,000 penalty units. That's to the political party. Whereas a political party convicted under Section 2 fails to pay the penalty imposed, the national chairman, the general secretary, the national organizer, and the national treasurer of that political party are severally liable to a fine of not more than 10,000 penalty units or to a term of imprisonment of not less than 10 years and not more than 15 years. So I want to remind all of us, including myself, that if anybody organizes this is what awaits you. And I believe in the professionalism of the IGP, COP, Christian Teteyanu, that he is not going to spare any person. And he can have my full support, and I'm sure I also have the full support of the president that he must let the law grant anybody, whether that person is a Muntaka or that person is for MPP or that person is from NDC, he must make sure that the person feels the full rigors of the law. So that we can assure you, we'll do our best and ensure that Akwatia is safer and the election will be more peaceful. Now we come to Boko. Let me start by saying that what's happening is very unfortunate, and what government has been doing since yesterday is to take care of the injured, including the 2 police officers who were also shot. And like many of us will know, the situation there is worrying, but we believe that calm is returning. I mean, this morning we've sent the regional minister to all the stakeholders to ensure that we are able to get normalcy returns there, whilst we all make effort to get the Otumfor mediation to fast track whatever needs to be done. So we have peace once and for all. I keep telling people that do we want to have a situation where we keep going front and back for the past 7 to 8 years, where you pretend to impose some kind of peace, then after a regime change or some circumstances changes, then you are back to ground zero? Or you want to have one that is built traditionally, that can last the test of time? Our pursuit is to have one that can last the test of time. So I want to appeal to all the stakeholders in that enclave. Please help us to be able to achieve that. The firing, the laying ambush and shooting at military and all this will not help anybody. And we want to appeal to our security agencies. Yes, we know that sometimes, especially when you are ambushed, you don't know who is firing at you, but they are professional. And our hope is that they will continue to handle the situations there professionally. Yes, the IGP is reminding me that he's just submitted the 2020 and 2024 election violence report. So I'm sure we'll peruse it and quickly maybe make it known to the general public. I think these are all the questions. The small arms, yes. Well, the small arms bill is under review. You know, it takes one of the challenge we have. Well, but you can't call it a challenge. That's the kind of democracy that we have everywhere around the world. You may even lay a bill in Parliament. Once their Parliament elapses, you have to start the process all over again. Community engagement, to cabinets, and all that. So we are back to ground zero, and we have been working. And I'm sure after here you can interview the Executive Secretary. He will tell you we are working assiduously on that to be able to get it back to Parliament. And hopefully, it's our hope that if we are able to present it before Parliament rises, maybe by the end of the year, we should be able to have something on our decks with regards to the small arms. I know one of the major challenges that we have with small arms in our country is that there seems to be a lot of arms in the hands of our citizens, and we are taking steps to get weapon detection systems where we can be doing wholesale stops, random checks, random sweepings, so that we'll be able to collect the guns. But we want to get those equipment, then we can announce a period within which those who want to voluntarily submit them to us to submit it, maybe so with some reward, or those who want to keep it lawfully will take the necessary step and register them properly. Well, that's part of what we are digitalizing, to make sure that if I pick a gun, I should be able to just look at the serial number and be able to tell who it is for, because your Ghana card is linked to it. If I pick a bullet, I should be able to tell this bullet was imported by Mr. A, and Mr. A sold it to Mr. B, and this bullet was fired from the gun of Mr. A. So that's some of the things that we are trying to do, and we are hopefully we are very hopeful that maybe by the course of the year, we can get all these things digitalized, and that may help us to track those who are keeping these arms illegally and unlawfully. Thank you very much.
So we'll take the second and final round of questions. This time, only 3 can be accommodated within the time frame that we have. So please step up to the microphone and ask your question here.
My name is Sethi, GBC. Mr. Minister, I want to find out from you, in the last 6 months, how many galamseyers have been arrested? And out of the number, how many are foreigners? And how many are facing prosecution and those that have been deported? Thank you.
Well, let me intervene and say that answers to those are best directed at the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, who will be here next week to give a briefing and an update on the fight against galamsey. So if you have any other question related to the presentation today or the work of the Minister for the Interior, I'd be more than happy to have it. Okay, please come.
Good morning. Yeah. My name is Julius Yaopetechi, and I report for the Ghanaian Times here from the Office of the President. So in March this year, an arrest was made of one Daniel Owusu Cranton in relation to the murder of investigative journalist Ahmed Hussein Swali. Since then, much has not been heard about it. This arrest comes almost 6 years after his gruesome murder. What's the state of that investigation? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Titi.
But my question, I think questions never is in relation to election violence. Okay, what do you say? But the person will be say, your questions in Tony to one side. Why not or self-fatal so kita weapon? Because I will call election grounds. Now Bonnie BNC and now kita pepper spray. Who kwayana? May a citizen men nama me who kwansa me kita pepper spray na me dugun krofweni. Ni atosu biom. Ye hu video be between Honorable Afenyo Maken and police ni bi. Obono obonasum. Eno menti ehwe pacho IGP ene miniaba COP Lydia ohedie ena Lydia so me na baso reset no wa ma ye Philippa because update ni yenya na say ma ye hu say adwuma na ekoso na ye didi a na ye bibie wo ho nti me pacho me na ma mitimi kura pepper spray
yo obeyano. Yeah, Ashford. So you will be the
all right, thank you very much. My name is Patrick Ashford with Radio Gold. Honorable, I just want to find out what's the outcome of the work of the committee that looked into the matters of recruitment into the security service some time ago, and considering one of the main complaints that led to the probe that numbers that were recruited into the last year of the new patriotic party will be seeing some recruitment at the service soon, because we're very much aware that very soon the service will be recruiting people. But then we saw the number of recruitment that were done that the administration actually asked for investigation into it. So just want to find out the outcome of that particular committee. Thank you very much for the investigation. Thank you.
So, Honorable Minister, you may now answer these questions.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Yeah, the IGP is just sending me the notes on the Daniel Owusu Cranton. I mean, we presented him to the courts and the case. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is what I already know then. Yes, he was presented to the courts, and as you know, after some number of sittings, he was granted bail. But the matter is still in our court and is being prosecuted. So you can be rest assured we are following keenly and ensuring that all the things that needs to be done is done and done properly. There was this question about the recruitment. I'll just start from the bottom. Yes, like we did, we inaugurated a committee. The committee did a fantastic job. They presented their report. We analyzed the report. I took the report to cabinet, and cabinet okayed it, so we went ahead. You've seen us passing them out. One of the things that happened was that the police, for example, were giving clearance for 4,000. By the time we did all the cleanup, looking at who is qualified in there, who is not qualified in there, were able to get out about 1,320 who were not supposed to be there, and they were there, so they were out. And then the immigration to about 730 was left out. So in all, out of the Fire 2 had about 500 and something that were taken. Narcotics about 50 something. I didn't have all the big this, but in all, what we did a cleanup. We tried to get their qualification benchmark and see those who were there. You see someone like some people were there, they were in their 40s and they were put in there. They were not qualified to be there. They couldn't even do some of the drills. So we had to take them out. Some people were even diabetic and they were picked. We had to tell them, look, with your situation, you can't be in the security services. Others didn't have the certificate that they claimed they had. We had to withdraw them. I mean, I remember an MP came to me and said, oh, my brother was there. They are almost a few weeks to finish. Why is he out? I said, well, I don't have all the data in my head. But what is the name? He gave me the name. He was there. Then I called. Can you check the reason for, because I made sure that every person that was removed, the reason for removal is attached so that you can justify it. So they called, say, this guy, he didn't even record one subject. So I asked him, can you ask your brother whether this is true? They are saying that not even one subject was recorded. And I said, but it's true, but I said, it's not, there's no any but. Once you didn't record any, and the qualification then was to do this, you have to be out. So we took all those things out, and that's how we passed the other side. Even though now I've charged our security services to say that, look, the police, the immigration, the narcotics, the prisons, the fire, and the right, it's not only about those who have maths and English. Because I know people who have gone to vocational training, and they are dressmakers, and they need them because they sew their uniform. So why not recruit them as such? People are drivers. You need drivers, because one of the reasons why I realize that most of their vehicles keep breaking down, they don't even recruit drivers. They recruit officers and they say who can drive. Then they try to polish his driving. No, recruit drivers. So you know that you are recruiting a painter. When your buildings are down, they will paint it. You have gardeners. I see the military. You go and you see it's a military officer who is loaning the monk. But when you go to the other services, they want to hire others to come and do that. Why not recruit your own? But they know that they've been recruited as cooks. They've been recruited as dressmakers. They've been recruited as artisans. So we are looking at all that to review that so that future recruitment may not suffer most of this challenge. Minority, yes, he was, before the police, I was getting the information, they took his statement, caution statement, and they forwarded the docket to the Attorney General Office for advice. So that is a matter that is being pursued. Pepper spray, I will not want to preempt this. I can assure you that when this incident happened, very nasty, very unfortunate, very embarrassing to all of us, the political class, because, you can't hold the election in 19 polling stations without this. But I called the Honorable Howard Kumsin to empathize with her. I said, look, what happened? She told herself, I said, well, I've instructed the IGP to investigate it thoroughly. My plea with you is that when they invite you, please go make all your facts so that it will help them to be able to ascertain what truly happened. And then all the perpetrators, those who instigated the thing, those who contributed to any part, the police will determine what crime they've committed, and they'll be able to deal with it. So I will not want to be speaking specifically about what somebody is holding, because in the video you see everybody holding one thing or the other. Somebody jumping, somebody doing that. Let's leave that to the police to do their work. Well, illegal mining, like he said, the the Minister for Lands will be here to be able to tell you that. But what I tell you in the briefing that I gave you, I said that we were able to remove about 1,617. This include people who were on our street begging, those who were doing QNet in cyber fraud, illegal mining. All those ones are part of the figures that we gave, about 1,617. But I'm sure when the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources comes, he may be able to provide some fine details about how many people were arrested, how many people have been prosecuted. Even though I know the prosecution is done by us, that's by the police. But because it's more related to lands, I didn't prepare that, but I'm sure the Minister for Lands may be able to answer that adequately. Minister, I'm sure I've answered all your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister for the Interior. You have indeed done a good job giving an account of your stewardship in the last 6 months. This is only the beginning of this series, and I thank all of you for playing various roles to ensure its success. Let me announce quickly that on Wednesday we will have the Minister for Energy and Green Transition to provide an update of what has been done to secure Ghana's energy future and ensure that some stability is brought into power supply. Then on Friday, the Minister for Health, Honorable Kwabena Mintah Kando, will take his turn to provide insight into what he has been doing as Health Minister in the last 6 months in fulfillment of President Mahamet's mandate. But until then, I thank all of you for coming. See you on Wednesday.
So, colleagues.